Just to win a stupid bet, I texted the girl everyone called the ditzy campus sweetheart. Hey, I'm starving. Can you spot me $200? I fully expected to get blocked. Instead, a ding echoed, and $200 hit my Venmo. It came with a voice message, her voice soft, almost a little whiny. Am I really that ditzy and dumb? You can scam me out of money. You can even scam me out of my feelings, but please don't just jump straight to the scamming, okay? It makes me look really clueless. And how am I supposed to explain this to my besties and roommates? They'll think I'm a total idiot. I sent you the money, but maybe find someone else to scam next time. I always fall for it. The guys in the VIP lounge erupted in laughter then, roaring about how she was an easy target, all cash and no common sense. But as I stared at my phone screen, that money felt like it was burning a hole in my pocket. And that girl? Yeah, I was going to scam her for life. Not even an act of God was going to stop me. Empty beer bottles cluttered the table in the lounge, the raucous noise making my head throb. I slammed my glass down, looking at Scarlett across from me. Scarlett, I can't drink any more of this. Let's change the game. Scarlett was wearing an off-the-shoulder top tonight, her makeup flawless, eyes locked on mine. She was the head of student government's event planning. I was in marketing and communications. Usually, we stayed out of each other's way. But tonight, celebrating the end of the annual campus games, our crews had been forced to mingle. A couple of guys nearby started chanting, Ethan, dude, they're dissing Scarlett's toast? Uncool. I lit a cigarette, ignoring them. Scarlett didn't seem annoyed. She set down her glass, a glint of cunning in her eyes. Fine, Ethan, no drinks? Then we play truth or dare. I blew out a smoke ring. Whatever. The room quieted instantly, everyone eager for the show. Scarlett pulled out her phone, opened a contact, and shoved it in front of me. Add her. I glanced at the screen. The profile picture was a goofy cartoon bunny. The name read Chloe Goodluck Charm. Super corny. Who is this? I frowned. Scarlett smirked, that I told you so look in her eyes. Chloe Miller, from the art department. Kind of my friend. Heard of her? Immediately, someone burst out laughing. Oh my God, the airhead campus sweetheart. I heard she walks in a lamppost and never checks her change. Last time, someone conned her into buying fake movie tickets, claiming they were limited edition collector's items, and she totally fell for it. I'd heard the name too. The universally acknowledged ditzy beauty of the campus. Gorgeous, but a few screws loose upstairs. Scarlett rapped her knuckles on the table. Want to make a bet? I flicked my ash. On what? You add her, and right now, you ask her for money. Not a lot, just $200. Think she'll lend it? I thought for a moment. No one could be that stupid. Lending money to a stranger you just added? No way anyone would do that. Scarlett leaned back, a smug look on her face. All right, let's bet. I bet she'll lend you the money. She looked absolutely confident. If you can't get it, I lose. I'll take on all your student government grunt work for the rest of the semester. And if you lose? She leaned forward, her perfume filling my nostrils. You take me to a movie. Just us. No valing. The cheering around us intensified. Do it, Ethan. You got that charm. Scarlett's playing for keeps. I looked at Scarlett's determined gaze, and my own stubborn streak kicked in. I refused to believe there was really a person out there who'd just hand over money to any guy who asked. Plus, I wasn't into overly shrewd girls like Scarlett, but a movie was just 2 hours. If I won, I wouldn't have to slog through all that paperwork. Easy money, no downside. I snuffed out my cigarette and pulled out my phone. Fine, you're on. I scanned the QR code and sent a friend request. My note, it's Ethan. Scarlett coolly commented, don't get your hopes up. Her brain works slow. It'll take her forever to accept. The words were barely out of her mouth when my phone vibrated. Accepted. Fayakishly fast. Scarlett froze for a second, then scoffed. Accepted? All right, send her what I told you. My fingers typed on the screen, following Scarlett's script for the first message. Hi, nice to meet you. Can you lend me $200 for food? I tossed my phone onto the table. Just wait. She's going to block me. Any normal person would report and block me instantly after an opening line like that. I was bracing myself for her to call me a psycho, ready to gloat to Scarlett about her bad bet. A minute passed. 2 minutes passed. My phone remained silent. Just as I was about to pick up my drink and tease Scarlett, my phone vibrated. A voice message. I tapped it, playing it out loud. A soft, slightly muddled voice filled the silent room, clear as day. Am I really that ditzy and dumb? You can scam me out of money. You can even scam me out of my feelings, but please don't just jump straight to the scamming, okay? It just makes me look really clueless. And how am I supposed to explain this to my besties and roommates? They'll think I'm a total idiot. The lounge fell into a dead silence. Then, the roof almost blew off with explosive laughter. Scarlett was laughing so hard she had tears in her eyes, slapping my shoulder. Ethan, listen. She knows you're a scammer, and she's still talking all sweet and innocent. So clearly not bright. I on my phone a little stunned. This girl's thought process was definitely unique. Most people would either curse me out or ignore me. But she was worried about looking clueless? Had she missed the point entirely? Scarlett wiped a tear from her eye, looking triumphantly at me. Concede, Ethan. I'm booking the movie tickets. I looked at the cartoon bunny avatar, and on a whim, I retorted, she didn't agree yet though, did she? Scarlett raised an eyebrow. It's not over. Watch this. She replied with a voice message, which means she's still wavering. I wasn't sure why I wanted to keep going. Maybe it was just male competitiveness. Or maybe that soft voice had piqued my interest. Scarlett snorted. Fine, you keep going. This time, be more aggressive. She leaned over, staring at my screen, dictating every word. Just text. I'm about to starve to death. Haven't eaten in 3 or 4 days. See if she responds to that. That was way too fake. A college student starving to death on campus? Unless they died from playing video games. But I sent it anyway. I'm about to starve to death. Haven't eaten in 3 or 4 days. After sending it, I picked up my drink, ready to take my concession sip. If anyone believed that pigs would fly, the glass was just touching my lips. Ding! The crisp sound of money hitting an account. In a noisy bar, the sound wasn't loud. But at our table, it was like a thunderclap. My hand twitched, spilling half my drink. Everyone craned their necks to look at my phone. On the screen, a vibrant red transfer bubble. $200 below it, a small line of text. Really? You weren't lying, right? Then go eat quickly. Don't starve yourself. In that instant, I felt an invisible hand slap me hard across the face. My cheeks burned. My smile froze. I stared at my phone in disbelief, eyes wide at the transfer. She actually sent it? Is this girl serious? A guy next to me chuckled dryly. Ethan, you're incredible. That actually worked. I looked at the $200. I felt no thrill of victory. On the contrary, I felt like a complete jerk. How kind and innocent must a person be to believe such a ridiculous lie from a stranger? And to send money without hesitation. She didn't even ask who I was or why I wasn't asking my roommates. Just because I said I was starving. I looked at the cartoon bunny avatar, a lump of wet cotton stuck in my chest, making me feel suffocated. I win, Scarlett said, absolutely thrilled. That airhead lives up to her reputation. She waved her hand, signaling for everyone to keep drinking. But I wasn't in the mood. I stared at the screen, my finger hovering over the red accept button. I couldn't bring myself to tap it. If I took this money, what would that make me? An online beggar? A scammer? I typed rapidly. Thanks, but I was just playing truth or dare and lost. It was a joke. Please take your money back. Send. I felt a little better. Though it was a rotten joke, at least I hadn't taken the money. The nature of it wasn't that bad. Scarlett snorted next to me. Don't act all high and mighty now. You already scammed her. She doesn't need it. I ignored her. My phone vibrated again. Chloe had replied. Another voice message. Her tone was more urgent this time, sounding really upset. Why don't you want it? Didn't you say you were starving? If you don't take it, you're really lying to me, and it looks like I got scammed again, and I'm so over it. I've already mentally prepared myself to be scammed, and now you're not scamming me? Are you looking down on my intelligence? Me? What kind of logic was that? Not taking her money was insulting her intelligence? Not scamming her made her upset? Scarlett was about to laugh, but I glared her into silence. I listened to that voice message over and over 3 times. Her voice was soft with a little nasal sniffle, like a rabbit whose carrot was stolen, then given back. Hopping mad, but nowhere to bite. Suddenly, I thought this girl was kind of cute. Not in a put-on way, but genuinely cute in her innocence. I took a deep breath and typed, I'm not really lying. I just feel bad. She replied instantly. If you don't take it, I'll block you. If you take it, it means you really need the money, and then I won't feel scammed. Otherwise, my friends always say I'm silly. Anyway, $200 won't make me starve, but if you starve, I'll have nightmares. Looking at those two lines, something in my chest softened completely. She didn't care about being scammed. She cared about people calling her stupid. In a university where everyone had a dozen ulterior motives, a naive person like her was a rare find. I tap accept. In that moment, I made a decision. I had to pay back this $200, and I had to do it in person and double the amount. I told Scarlett, the movie ticket's on hold. I'm busy these next few days. Scarlett rolled her eyes. Whatever, just don't try to ditch out on it. I grabbed my jacket and stood up to leave. Ethan, where are you going? To get something to eat. Didn't you just eat? I looked at my phone screen. That doesn't count. I'm going to have a life-saving meal. The next morning, I bombarded Chloe with texts. Hey, I took the money, but I feel really bad about it. Where are you? I want to meet up. I have money now. I want to give it back. After half an hour, she slowly replied. Huh, you don't have to. Did you eat? Me, yeah, I ate, but I have to give it back. I won't be able to sleep otherwise. Her, then you could just Venmo it to me, right? I made an excuse. Nah, my Venmo limit is capped for the day. Her, oh, okay then. She was so easily convinced it almost hurt. We arranged to meet at the slightly pricey coffee shop on campus. I arrived 20 minutes early, specifically putting on a clean white t-shirt and styling my hair. It was the first time I'd ever been this nervous to meet a girl. Not because I was smitten, but out of guilt and a little curiosity. I wanted to see what this ditzy girl with a unique thought process looked like. Precisely at 10, the bell above the door chimed. A girl in a white dress walked in. Long hair cascaded over her shoulders, and she was clutching a large art portfolio, obscuring half her face. She stood by the entrance, looking around aimlessly, her eyes as confused as a lost fawn. She was holding her phone, comparing something to a picture. I checked her social media. No selfies, just reposts of good fortune charms and Mercury retrograde begone. But I recognized her instantly. That naturally sweet, slightly bewildered aura was impossible to fake. I stood up and waved. Chloe Miller. She jumped, nearly dropping her portfolio. Seeing me, she paused, then cautiously walked over. Are you Ethan Hayes? Her voice was just like in the voice messages, soft. Up close, she was truly beautiful. Her skin glowed. Her eyes were large and round, her eyelashes fluttering. She didn't have Scarlett's aggressive intensity or the plastic look of influencers. She was just clean. So clean, it made you want to pinch her cheek. That's me. I pulled out a chair. Have a seat. She sat down, placing her portfolio to the side, her hands neatly clasped in her lap. Like a grade schooler called into the principal's office. What can I get you? I asked. Just water is fine, she said quietly. The coffee here is really bitter. I smiled and waved over the server. One latte, one hot milk with extra sugar. Her eyes lit up. She mumbled softly, you can get milk too? Seeing her like this, my guilt intensified. I pulled out my phone and opened my Venmo QR code. Here's the $200 I owe you. She quickly waved her hands, shaking her head like a bobblehead. No, really don't. Why not? She looked serious. You said yesterday you were starving to death. That was life-saving money. Even if you were lying, what if you weren't? I don't have much money. What kind of twisted logic was that? And she lowered her head, her fingers twisting the hem of her dress. If I take it back, I'll look stingy. It's only $200. Just consider my treat. I laughed, exasperated. Chloe, are you actually crazy? Her face flushed instantly, her cheeks puffing out. I am not crazy. My roommate says I'm wise disguised as foolish. After saying that, she seemed to lose some confidence, her voice dropping again. Anyway, I'm not taking it. Looking at her face, red as an apple, I suddenly didn't want to force the money on her anymore. I want to try a different approach. All right, you won't take the money. I put away my phone, leaned forward, and looked in her eyes. If you treated me to a meal, shouldn't I treat you back? She froze, blinking her big eyes at me. Her brain seemed to be working overtime, processing this complex logical connection. After several seconds, she nodded. I guess that makes sense. Then let's go. I stood up. It's lunchtime anyway. I'll take you somewhere good. Oh, now. Otherwise, I'm hungry too. I casually picked up her portfolio. Coming or not? If not, I'm holding your art hostage. She panicked, immediately standing up and following behind me. Yes, let's go. I want meat. In that moment, I realized I hadn't lost the bet for nothing. A girl like this? Who could bear to truly scam her? You could only scam her into moving in and spoiling her for life. I took her to the most expensive Italian restaurant near campus. Usually, my friends and I wouldn't dare go there. But today, I just wanted to see her happy. When she looked at the prices on the menu, her eyes nearly popped out. "Is this steak made of gold?" she whispered, leaning into my ear. Her warm breath tickled my ear. I held back a laugh. "Don't worry, I've got money. Just on my scholarship check." Actually, my scholarship was long gone. This was my grocery money. When the food arrived, she didn't hold back, cutting her steak and stuffing it into her mouth. She wasn't messy, just a little clumsy. Her knife and fork clanged against the plate, making an awful scraping sound. Her face turned red, and she secretly glanced around to see if anyone noticed. When she drank her soup, her spoon wobbled, splashing a little on her nose. She didn't even notice, still smacking her lips. I couldn't help myself. I pulled a napkin and reached over, gently wiping her nose. "You're such a klutz." She froze. Her eyes widened, staring at my hand. Then, her face rapidly turned beet red before my eyes. So red, it looked like steam was coming off her. Seriously, like a boiling teapot. "What are you doing?" she stammered, her voice thin as a mosquito's buzz. I pulled my hand back, feigning nonchalance. "You were dirty? Couldn't you tell?" Oh. She lowered her head, looking like she wanted to bury her face in her soup bowl. Even the tips of her ears were red. Watching her, that mischievous devil on my shoulder resurfaced. I wanted to tease her. "Chloe." She wouldn't look up. "Your face is so red. Do you have a crush on me?" Cough, cough, cough. She choked directly, coughing her lungs out. I quickly handed her water. "Drink slowly, nobody's trying to steal it." She took a big gulp of water, finally recovering. She looked up, eyes watery, glaring at me. "You're so full of yourself. Who has a crush on you?" "No." I propped my chin on my hand, smiling at her. "Then you didn't move when I wiped your nose earlier." "I just didn't react fast enough," she retorted indignantly, like an angry cat. "So slow to react, and you say you're not ditzy?" "Ethan," she yelled my name, her voice sweet and feisty, with zero menace. It just made me find her even cuter. After that meal, I got all her contact info. Texts were pinned, special notifications set. And like a total jerk, I grabbed her phone and pinned myself to the top of her contacts too. On the way back, I handed her portfolio back. "Next time you want to eat something, just text me." She clutched her portfolio, looking at me warily. "Why? Are you still going to treat me?" "Paying off my debt," I said, completely justified. That $200 was life-saving money. The interest is pretty high. One meal isn't enough. She tilted her head, thought about it, and seemed to think I made a good point. "Then I want a caramel apple." "Sure." "And I want fancy sushi." "Sure." "And I want that really expensive ice cream." "All good." She smiled, her eyes curving into crescent moons, as if they held stars. "Ethan, you're actually a pretty good guy." I guiltily rubbed my nose. "Good guy? I was the jerk who scammed you out of your money." But I didn't say anything. I watched her skip and bounce into the dorm building. When I turned away, the smile hadn't left my face, until my phone vibrated. A message from Scarlett. "Movie tickets bought. Saturday, 7 p.m. Don't forget." The smile vanished instantly. I looked at the message, suddenly feeling incredibly annoyed. I hadn't figured out how to explain all this to Chloe yet, and I certainly hadn't figured out how to refuse Scarlett. My current feeling was like a kid who'd just stolen a piece of candy. Before even tasting the sweetness, his parent had grabbed his wrist. The next 2 months, I lived in heaven. The first thing I did every morning was text Chloe. "Up yet? Pig." She'd instantly reply. "You're the pig? I am Drowan." Then she'd send a photo of a messy canvas, indecipherable lines. "Me? Is that abstract art?" "Her? It's your ugly portrait. Not finished yet." We'd accidentally run into each other at the cafeteria, and I'd purposefully snatch her chicken drumstick. I'd watch her stomp her foot in frustration, then scoop all the braised pork from my plate onto hers. She'd curse me for being annoying, but eat with a greasy smile. In the evenings, I'd take her for walks around the track. She'd never watch where she was going, almost tripping. I'd grab her hand, soft and small, her palm a little sweaty. In that moment, I wouldn't let go. She wouldn't pull away, just lower her head, her face turning red as a tomato again. This kind of teasing, this push and pull, got me hooked. I knew she was starting to like me, and I was falling for her too, completely. But I never dared to confess, because of that sword of Damocles hanging over my head, Scarlett. Scarlett had reminded me over a dozen times. I'd always found an excuse to put it off. I figured if I just dragged it out long enough, it would just fizzle out. But I underestimated Scarlett's persistence. Friday night, I was in my dorm playing games. Scarlett called my roommate's phone directly. Tell Ethan to pick up. My roommate, with a mischievous grin, handed me his phone. Ethan, the Queen's calling to check up on you. I braced myself and answered. Hello, Ethan Hayes. Are you a man or not? Scarlett's voice was icy. Abed Sahabet. If you really don't want to go, then avoid me from now on. Don't make me lose all respect for you. That line boxed me in. I was a person with immense pride, and I was in the wrong here. Fine, I'll go tomorrow. I gritted out. 7 o'clock, Regal Cinemas. Don't be late. After hanging up, the annoyance in my chest felt like it was about to explode. I texted Chloe. I have something tomorrow night. Can't go to the library with you. After a long while, she replied, okay, and even added a cute emoji. Looking at that emoji, I felt like a total scumbag, enjoying her innocent adoration on one hand and going on a date with another woman on the other. Even if it was just to pay a debt, it felt like I was cheating. The next day, I purposefully dressed casually, hoping to make Scarlett back off. But Scarlett was dressed to the nines. A little black dress, high heels, big, wavy hair. Standing at the movie theater entrance, her head-turning rate was 200%. Seeing me in my grubby state, her face darkened, but she didn't say anything. Let's go in. Ticket scan, we entered. I chose the most secluded seats in the back, hoping to minimize my presence. The lights dimmed. The movie started, a sappy romantic comedy. The lead couple was crying their eyes out in the rain. I kept yawning. Scarlett, however, seemed totally engrossed, slowly leaning closer to me. A wave of perfume hit me. I instinctively recoiled. Sit still, I whispered. I'm cold, Scarlett said petulantly, her hand reaching for my arm. I pulled my arm away as if I'd been electrocuted, crossing them over my chest. If you're cold, put on your jacket. I'm not. Scarlett glared at me, huffily straightening up. A little while later, she wanted popcorn. Her hand dipped into the bucket, purposefully brushing against mine. I shoved the popcorn bucket into her lap. It's all yours. I don't like sweet stuff. Scarlett gritted her teeth in frustration. Ethan, are you doing this on purpose? Watch the movie, don't talk. I stared straight ahead, just wanting these damn 2 hours to pass. What I didn't know was that, just a few rows behind us in the shadows, 2 pairs of eyes were fixed on the back of my head. The movie finally ended. I breathed a sigh of relief, the first to stand up. Let's go. I didn't want to stay another second. Scarlett hadn't had enough, slowly gathering her bag. What's the rush? We're going for late-night snacks. No, the bet only said a movie. My tone was stiff. I turned to leave. Scarlett, in her heels, rushed after me, grabbing my arm. Ethan, what's with the attitude? Is this how you treat a date? We were in the crowded exit aisle. Her tug forced me to stop. Let go. No, not unless you come for late-night snacks with me. Scarlett's inner diva came out, and she pressed her entire body against me. I was about to forcefully shake her off. I looked up. The crowd in front of us parted, revealing 2 familiar figures. Chloe Miller and her roommate, Maya. Time seemed to freeze at that moment. Chloe was holding an unfinished smoothie, the straw already bitten flat. She looked at me, then at Scarlett clinging to me. Those large, round eyes that were usually smiling were now red-rimmed. Tears welled up, threatening to fall. Her face was ashen. Maya, on the other hand, was fuming, glaring daggers at me. My mind went blank with a loud boom. Crap. The one thing I didn't want to happen had just happened. Scarlett saw them too. She froze. Then a look of surprise and a hint of triumph crossed her face. Chloe, what are you doing here? She didn't even let go of my arm. In fact, she gripped it tighter. What a coincidence. You're here for a movie too. Chloe ignored her. Her gaze was locked on me. That mix of disappointment, hurt, and anger in her eyes felt like a sharp knife plunging into my heart. I panicked, completely panicked. I yanked Scarlett's hand off me, so hard she almost stumbled. Chloe, let me explain. I took a step forward, wanting to reach for Chloe. Chloe took a step back. She evaded my hand. She took a deep breath, and finally, the tears couldn't be held back. Large drops rolled down her cheeks. Explain what? Her voice was choked with sobs, trembling, yet eerily clear. Explain why you two are together. Explain why you lied and said you were busy. She pointed at me, her fingers shaking. Or explain that you two are dating, and I'm just your little plaything. I might be a little ditzy, but I'm not stupid. Scarlett mumbled, ditzy is stupid, though. Maya scoffed next to her. Ethan, you're really something. Leading Chloe on while dating her friend. Do you even call yourself a man? The people leaving the theater stopped to gawk, whispering and pointing. Ethan, do you think I'm ditzy? Do you think I'm stupid? Do you think I'm just really easy to fool? Every word was like a stone hitting my chest, making it hard to breathe. No, Chloe, it's not like that. I stammered, desperate, wanting to rush over and hug her. Don't touch me, she shrieked, slamming her smoothie cup at my feet. Smoothie splashed all over me, and some hit Scarlett too. You jerk! After yelling that, she turned and ran. Her figure was stumbling, like a small, gravely wounded animal. Chloe, Maya glared fiercely at me, then chased after her, leaving me standing there, covered in smoothie, looking pathetic. Scarlett was stunned beside me. She tried to wipe me off. Ethan, are you okay? I'm fine. I pushed her hand away, my voice cold as ice. Then I took off running. I rushed out of the movie theater, ignoring everything. The night wind was bone-chilling. I frantically searched the crowd for that white dress. Chloe Miller. Finally, by the fountain outside the mall, I saw her. She was crouched on the ground, head buried in her knees, trembling with sobs. Maya was next to her, patting her back, comforting her. I ran over. Maya saw me and stood up, blocking me. What are you doing here? Move. I glared at Maya. Maybe my expression was too intimidating. Maya froze for a second, not daring to move. I walked up to Chloe and knelt down. Chloe, I called softly. She ignored me, crying even harder. Wah, you liar. My heart ached terribly. Without thinking, I reached out and pulled her into my arms. I hugged her tight. Let go of me. Let go. She struggled fiercely in my embrace, her fists raining blows on my chest. I won't let go. I gritted my teeth, letting her hit me. Never again. She tired herself out, her strength fading, leaving only choked sobs. Why did you lie to me? She rubbed her snot and tears all over my shirt, her voice utterly heartbroken. I told her about the bet between Scarlett and me. That was the punishment for losing the bet. I took a deep breath, deciding to confess everything. But it was also because of that bet that I met you. I was finishing the last step of the bet when I realized I was jealous. Later, when I kept trying to get close to you, it was because you were exactly my type. I felt her body stiffen in my arms, trying to struggle again. I held her tighter. But, Chloe, please let me finish. I cupped her face, forcing her to look in my eyes. Under the streetlights, her eyes were watery, her nose red. She looked awful, but also incredibly beautiful. If not for that stupid bet, I might never have met you. I'm a jerk, a rotten guy. I scammed you out of money. I scammed your trust. But the moment I saw you transfer that money, I regretted it. The moment I saw you in the coffee shop, I fell for you. Watching you draw in the library, I knew I was done for. I spoke rapidly, afraid she wouldn't listen. I owed Scarlett a movie, but I was more afraid of losing you. I came today to pay that damn debt, to be done with her. But I never expected you to be here. Never expected you to see this. I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry. My throat was dry from talking. Chloe stared at me blankly, tears still clinging to her eyelashes. She sniffed. Really? Truth, swear on my life. Then you don't like Scarlett? I'd have to be blind to like her. I said without hesitation. Then, do you like me because I'm easy to fool? She asked cautiously. I smiled. Reaching out, I wiped her tears. Chloe, you're easy to fool because you're kind. I like you, not because you're easy to fool. It's because you're Chloe Miller. I want to trick you for the rest of my life. Trick you into coming home with me. And I won't let anyone else trick you. She paused for a few seconds. Then, her face slowly, gradually turned red. Is this a confession? It is. I looked at her lips, my throat bobbing. That's extra, she mumbled softly. I couldn't resist. I leaned down and kissed her, silencing that little mouth that always said things that made me laugh and cry. Her lips were soft, tasting of smoothie sweetness and salty tears. She stiffened for a moment, then slowly, clumsily, responded to my kiss. In that moment, the world fell silent. Then, Maya's loud shout pierced the air. "Oh my God, I can't even look," followed by retreating footsteps. We kissed for a long time, until she was breathless, and I finally pulled away. She buried her face in my chest, her voice a tiny whisper. "Ethan, what you just said, about tricking me into coming home with you." I never said no. I smiled. My arms around her, I never let go. Even though we made up, Chloe didn't want to cause trouble with Scarlett. "Scarlett's actually a really good person. She's just a little competitive," she said, lying on my chest. "And she's in student government, and her dorm is right across from mine. I see her all the time. If she knew we were dating, she'd definitely target you." "I'm not scared." "Well, I am." She glared at me. I don't want to argue with her, but we were just like that. She must have guessed, right? Chloe then added, "It doesn't matter if she guesses or not, as long as we don't make it official. I know her. She definitely won't change. She won't care." I thought, Aditya's thought process is certainly different. Fine, I'll humor her. "So what do we do?" "Secret relationship." Her eyes sparkled, seemingly thrilled by the idea. "Let's not tell her for now. We'll announce it when the time is right." I couldn't argue with her, so I agreed. And so, we began our clandestine romance. In a cafeteria, we'd sit separately. I'd sit diagonally across from her, and when no one was looking, I'd text her, "Pick out the bell peppers. I know you don't like them." She'd secretly glance at me, a faint smile playing on her lips, and obediently pick out the peppers. In the library, we'd choose a corner hidden by bookshelves. She'd be reading, and I'd secretly hook my finger around hers under the table. She'd nervously look around, her face red as an apple. I'd be even worse, tickling her palm with my finger. She'd want to laugh, but couldn't make a sound, stifling it with great effort. The most exciting times were after night classes. We wouldn't dare take the main path, instead cutting through the small grove of trees. It was dark there, perfect for mischief. "Ethan, someone's there." "No one." I'd pin her against a tree trunk, kissing her until her legs went weak. Don't bite, it'll leave a mark." "Who told you to talk to that guy today?" "I was turning in homework." "Doesn't matter." Punishment. The thrill of it was intoxicating. I loved having this secret that only the two of us shared. It felt like possessing a treasure that encompassed an entire world. One evening, Chloe returned to her dorm a little late. The moment she walked in, Scarlett cornered her. "Chloe, you've barely been in the dorm this week. Where have you been messing around?" Scarlett interrogated her like a suspect. Chloe looked guilty, her eyes darting around. "Nowhere, just drawing in the library." "Drawing?" Scarlett narrowed her eyes, then suddenly leaned close to Chloe. She sniffed at her neck like a police dog. Chloe was so scared she barely dared to breathe. "That smell." Scarlett frowned. "Cologne? What do you notes?" She snapped her head up, staring at Chloe. "Chloe Miller, you're dating someone." Chloe's face instantly flushed crimson, and she stammered, "No," still denying it. Scarlett grinned mischievously, throwing an arm around her neck. "I know that smell too well. That's my crush Ethan Hayes' signature scent." Chloe's heart sank. "Crap, I am busted." Scarlett was still gloating. "I didn't realize." Our Chloe, when she finally wakes up, her taste goes straight to the top. She's using the same cologne as my crush. "Come on, tell me. Which major is he in? Let her bestie vet him." Chloe was backed against the wall, on the verge of tears. She couldn't say it. Afraid Scarlett would get angry. Afraid Scarlett would be hurt. Just then, my video call came through. The distinctive ringtone blasted through the silent dorm. Scarlett, quick as a flash, snatched the phone. "I'm going to see who it is." Chloe gasped, "Don't answer." Too late. The video connected. My handsome face appeared on the screen. And, completely oblivious, I called out, "Baby, you back at the dorm yet?" The air froze. Scarlett's smile stiffened. I on the phone screen also froze. Chloe buried her face in her hands, crouching on the floor, wishing for a hole to swallow her. Three people, separated by a screen, stared at each other. Silence. A dead silence. It lasted a full minute. Then Scarlett slowly spoke, her voice deceptively sweet. "Ethan, baby, are you back at the dorm yet?" "Little Ethan, you've never talked to me like that." She handed the phone back to Chloe and turned to sit back in her chair, her back to us, cold and distant. Chloe held the phone, tears streaming down her face again. Seeing her cry, my heart shattered. Don't be scared. I took a deep breath, my gaze firm. Give the phone to Scarlett. I'll talk to her. But listen to me. Give it to Scarlett. Chloe tremblingly handed the phone over. Scarlett, Ethan wants to talk to you. Scarlett didn't take it. I put it on speaker and said loudly, Scarlett, this has nothing to do with Chloe. I was the one who pursued her. I was the one who stubbornly chased her. Take it out on me. Scarlett finally turned around. She looked at me on the screen, her eyes complex. Ethan, you really outdid yourself. She sneered. That bet we made? You deliberately lost, didn't you? No, I was completely honest. I genuinely lost. Lost to her kindness and lost to my own feelings. Scarlett, I know this isn't fair to you, but I can't lie to myself about my feelings. I like Chloe Miller. I like her naive charm. I like that she's easy to fool. I like her kindness. You're too shrewd for me. I don't like that. Though I appreciate your beauty. That's just admiration for a pretty face. Blame me, not her. After saying all that, I was even impressed with myself. That was pretty damn manly. Chloe, on the other end, was already weeping with emotion. Scarlett remained silent for a long time. So long, I thought she was going to start screaming at me through the phone. Suddenly, she sighed. Her shoulders slumped. Ethan, do you know how punchable you look right now? Me? Question mark. Scarlett rolled her eyes, her tone suddenly lighter. All right, cut the melodrama. I'm not some evil ex-girlfriend. She glanced at Chloe, who was crying like a smeared cat, looking a little helpless. Actually, I kind of guessed at the movie theater. When you pushed me away, and the way you looked at Chloe, it was different. I'm not blind. Both Chloe and I were stunned. Scarlett gave a self-deprecating laugh. Scarlett, can handle things. Losing to Chloe isn't embarrassing. She walked over and hugged Chloe. After all, I'm pretty fond of this silly girl too. Ugh, if I'd known you liked the ditzy type, I would have played dumb myself. I'm good at playing dumb. Want to try it? Maybe you'd like it. Chloe burst into tears and hugged Scarlett back. Scarlett, I'm so sorry. I like you too. Silly girl, why apologize? You like me? Then can I have your boyfriend? Chloe shook her head. Scarlett said, then it's fake love. Scarlett patted her back, then looked at me on the screen, her eyes holding both relief and a warning. Ethan, I'm entrusting my silly girl to you. If you dare to make her cry again, I won't just make your student government life miserable. I'll make your entire campus life miserable. I smiled, a smile of utter relief. Don't worry, except in bed, I won't make her cry. Get out, both girls said in unison. Then, a burst of joyful laughter. To make amends, and to officially go public, I treated Scarlett to the most expensive hot pot restaurant that weekend. At the table, Chloe and I initiated full-on PDA mode. Baby, eat some shrimp paste. I cooked it just right for you. Is it hot? Let me blow on it for you. There's sauce on your lip. Don't move, I'll wipe it. Chloe looked utterly content, compliant as a kitten. Scarlett, sitting opposite us, turned green. She slammed her chopsticks on the table. Ethan, Chloe, you two are enough already. I came here for hot pot, not to eat your PDA. Can you at least consider the feelings of a lonely old woman? I picked up a piece of tripe and put it in Chloe's bowl, not even looking up. Nope, this is payback for you wanting me to take you to the movies. I want you to know that the wattage of a third wheel can be blinding. Scarlett gnashed her teeth in frustration. I wish I hadn't pretended to be a strong, independent woman back then. She angrily bit into her beef. I should have acted even ditzier than Chloe. Maybe you'd be feeding me right now. Chloe looked up, serious. That wouldn't work. Scarlett, you're too smart. You can't fake it. Puffed. I almost choked on my soda. Was this the legendary, naturally savage personality? Scarlett clutched her chest, looking like she'd suffered an internal injury. Chloe Miller, you've turned mean. Did Ethan teach you that? Chloe blinked innocently. No, I was just telling the truth. Watching them banter, my heart swelled with warmth. In that moment, I felt like the happiest man in the world. The $200 I'd scammed had gotten me a sweet, naive girlfriend, plus a bonus best friend of me. That was a deal of a lifetime. Time flew by. Soon enough, it was senior year. We rented a small apartment off campus, starting our scandalous cohabitation early. That morning, I didn't have class. I went to the farmer's market and bought Chloe's favorite candied apples. Returning home, I pushed open the door. The curtains were drawn, the room dim. A small lump rose from the bed covers. She wasn't awake yet. I walked over and sat on the edge of the bed. Gently, I lifted a corner of the blanket. Chloe was sound asleep, her hair a mess, her mouth slightly open, even a tiny bit of drool. Utterly unglamorous. But I loved every bit of it. I pinched her nose. Lazy pig, time to wake up. She frowned, grumbled, swatting my hand away, and rolled over to continue sleeping. Stop it. 5 more minutes. I've got something yummy, I whispered, tempting her. Candy, appleless. Those 3 words seemed to have magic. She suddenly opened her eyes, her gaze instantly clear. Where? Give them to me now. She reached out to grab them. I held the candied apples up high. Brush your teeth first. No, she whined, hugging my waist and rubbing against me. Just eat it. You've kissed me without brushing before anyway. Her rubbing made my internal fire flare. Nope, that's a matter of principle. Ethan, big brother, she pulled out her ultimate weapon, her voice so sugary it melted my bones. I sighed helplessly and handed her the candied apples. I give up. I'm completely yours for life. She grinned triumphantly, took a huge bite of the candied apple. Her cheeks puffed out like a hamster's. Watching her eat happily, I couldn't resist teasing her. Chloe, you really are just as ditzy and clumsy as ever. 1 candied apple, and you're completely sold. What if someone else tries to trick you with treats later? Eating her candied apple, she turned her head and gave me a sassy look. That look, surprisingly, held a hint of seductive charm. I'm not easy to fool anymore. She swallowed her bite, then suddenly tossed the stick away. Then, she pounced, pinning me beneath her. Her long hair fell across my face, tickling me. She looked down at me, a mischievous smirk on her lips. Her eyes glimmered with a light called desire. I'm really frisky now. I froze. Before I could react, her hand was already naughtily sliding under the hem of my shirt. It found my abs. Be a good boy. Let your big sister check. Are your abs bigger? Still 6-pack? Have you been slacking off? My throat tightened. I grabbed her mischievous hand. Chloe, it's broad daylight. So what? She retorted, completely justified. This is learning. Human anatomy exploration. Are you sure? My eyes darkened. I flipped her over, pinning her beneath me. The tables had turned instantly. Then I'll teach you all about deep exploration. After a flurry of activity, we lay breathless on the bed. Sunlight streamed through the gap in the curtains, illuminating her sweat-kissed forehead. She was breathtaking. I played with her fingers, then suddenly spoke. Chloe. She responded lazily. We met each other's parents last year, and they all really liked us. My parents think we should get engaged this year and get married right after graduation. What do you think? I was a little nervous, my palms sweating. This was essentially a proposal. I expected her to be shy, or touched, or maybe even hesitate a little. Instead, she rolled over, finding a comfortable spot to nestle in my arms. She yawned, nonchalantly saying, I don't care. We can have our wedding night tonight if you want. Me? I lightly flicked her forehead, helpless. You really are easy to fool, aren't you? $200 to reel you in, and now 1 sentence to trick you for a lifetime. Good thing you fell into my hands. Otherwise, someone else would have eaten you up and spit you out, and you'd still think they were a good person. She looked up and playfully bit my chin, smiling like a sly little fox. I said I'm not easy to fool. I'll only let you fool me. She leaned into my ear, her warm breath caressing it. And now I'm really frisky. Only for you. I couldn't hold back anymore. I pulled the blanket over us, covering the room's intimate warmth. This scam that started with $200. I decided I'd spend the rest of my life paying it back. Principal and interest. The end.